Hey, welcome back traders for another backtesting session. Now, the last video I made halfway through the audio cut out. I apologize for that. I did not realize that I had no audio. And I was really disappointed because I said some really good stuff towards the end. Just to recap it real quick, I was basically saying that if your analysis is not panning out, that's probably a day that you shouldn't be trading. Because like if you notice on Friday, I was looking for price to go down, it went up. I was looking for price to go up, it went down. And it kept going like maybe 3 or 4 times throughout the day, and I never made a trade. In fact, last time I did not notice that it was actually the first month of August. It just slipped my mind. So technically, I wasn't supposed to be trading on Thursday and Friday. I didn't actually place a trade, so no foul, no whatever. But yeah, this time we're gonna go through August 5th through the 9th. Now, sometimes NFP week, when the week cuts off like this, like halfway through, sometimes the NFP is actually the following Friday. But I'm gonna not pay attention to that because I don't have the economic calendar, so I'm not sure when NFP actually was for the month of August. But whatever, I'm just gonna go ahead and backtest August 5th through August 9th. And right now I have it set on the 2nd, and taking a look at the daily chart, my daily time frame analysis was actually spot on. I wanted the price to go into this daily fair value gap and then start heading down for this low. And that's kind of where we're at right now. If this low has not been taken by Monday's open, I'm going to be aiming for this low, and we do have a daily fair value gap below that. That's where I'm looking for price to go, and then from there we'll have to see what's going on. Are we going to bounce off of from there, or are we going to trade through it? If we do trade through it, we got lows down here, and of course the old daily volume imbalance that never got traded into. So let's go ahead and jump into Monday and get started right away. Okay, already off to a shaky start. The plan already is foiled. I'm on the 4 hour, and as you can see, we've already traded through that lower sell side liquidity on the higher time frame. We've actually traded through that daily fair value gap as well. This is all like before the 9:30 bell on Monday. So we do have this low here. Going to be aiming for this one. If we open and we don't take that. Otherwise, I'm not seeing anything here. Let's go ahead and jump into the 1 hour. Unfortunately, we had sell side taken out. So we actually came back up into that daily fair value gap. It looks like we're using it as inversion. Looks like it's going to be going down. So I'm going to look for this low and this old low as my sell side targets. Buy side, I'm not really looking for anything on the buy side. I do have this fair value gap here on the 1 hour that I may want to keep an eye on, but I want to jump down into a lower time frame to see if there's anything more refined. Doesn't really look like it, so I'm going to go straight into the 5 minute and walk through today's action. All right, so jumping down to the 5 minute, I do see a little bit of relative equal highs up here. So I'm looking for 8:30 or 9:30 to pop up above it, just sweep above it, but not take out this high. And then I want to see displacement down for the sell side. And of course, we also have that old sell side down there. All right, so it's just before 9:30, and I went ahead and put a sound wave up here. Hopefully that doesn't distract you guys, but that's just for me, kind of like a visual cue, just to make sure I have audio. If I don't see it, hopefully I'll notice it. And then, yeah, anyways. Let me know in the comments if that does bother you. I will take it off. But anyways, before 9:30, what I'm looking for is price to go up for these highs first, not take out this high, and then I want to start seeing displacement to the downside for these relative equals lows. At 8:30, we started declining, but we didn't take out this low. We created relative equal lows, so that's really good. It's building in sell side liquidity. And now I want to see a sweep, and then I want to see fair value gaps to the downside. All right, so I went ahead and skipped ahead all the way to 12:15. My time window is up. You can see that at 9:30, there was a chance to take this fair value gap. Like once you see the relative equal lows here and you're anticipating price to come and sweep these highs, you could try for a long here and then take it off above these highs. It actually went above this high, and now it's kind of trading above this daily fair value gap. It closed above it, at least halfway through the day. We'll see what the rest of the day looks like. but never really got any displacement to the downside. So yeah, didn't really have anything interesting. So that's why I went all the way to the end of my time window. Didn't see anything. So no trades today. Hopefully we will be looking for these relative equal lows going into Tuesday. But let's take a quick look right now at what happened at the afternoon and the rest of the day. And you can see we just went up here, and then you can see this daily fair value gap. We're staying in the upper half of this daily fair value gap, and it closed the day above it. So we'll see if we still remain above this daily fair value gap. If we do, we may be reversing here. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. See, I mean, we did take out this low, and this could be setting up for relative equal lows for another time. Or maybe I just want to retrace a little bit more up here, maybe go into this breaker and then we fall down. So I think it's going to be tough going into the next day on whether I want to go long or short. I do keep my eye on the sell side liquidity, but I also have in my mind that we could be coming up for this breaker. So we'll just see what pre-market looks like on Tuesday. All right, so Tuesday morning, I'm still on the 4 hour right now. I'm looking at price. It did come up into this, 4 hour gap, came back down to the daily fair value gap and bounced off of it. Maybe a reclaimed fair value gap, also coming back into this 4 hour inversion fair value gap. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour, see if we draw out our liquidity levels. We got relative lows here, of course. But shorter term, probably this level. If we take this out though, I feel like we're going to take out this as well. It is kind of like halfway on this fair value gap. And of course, the buy side, we have buy side liquidity above these highs right here, and then going down to a 15-minute. Yeah, these liquidity levels pretty much make sense. This one, I'm keeping it down here, but not really looking for a sweep of this. This is going to be like a target if we do go down. This is going to be the near term, the short term buy side, and the short term sell side. All right, so just before 9:30, I didn't mention anything about 8:30 or anything because I don't really have a strong bias today. Pretty much neutral. I think as long as we're staying above this daily fair value gap, I think we could remain bullish. We do have relative equal highs up here. We could be shooting for that. This dip and tap into the daily fair value gap could be enough. Although at 9:30 we could get another sweep below this low, and then if I start seeing displacement up, I could be targeting these relative equal highs. We are coming down. I think if we trade above this big down candle, right, and then maybe we come back down, use this inversion fair value gap, I think after that I could take a long looking for these relative equal highs. So I'm kind of leaning towards the buy side right now, but keeping in mind that we are going to be in a bearish trend on the higher time frame. So going to just remain neutral, 50-50, just kind of see how price develops after 9:30. Okay, so a little bit before 10 o'clock, and you can see big consolidation, kind of choppy. It's kind of reminding me like NFP week. But we did get a sweep high here, and then no closure above this down candle. We came back down, took out the sell side, and now we are trading above this down move here. So we do have a change in state delivery, potentially a fair value gap. We do have, this sell side down here, so I'm not too thrilled to be taking this trade, but we could, right? If this fair value gap remain intact, I could take a long here with my stop. I want to put it down here at the low here. I don't want another change in state delivery. If that happens, then we're going to go down for that low. So here looks like, what is this? Is this a lot of points? Actually, this is quite a few points here. Yeah, I'm zoomed in. It's like over 100 points of risk here. So there's no way I'll be taking this. What I want to see is confirmation. I want to see price come into this fair value gap. Give me another confirmation fair value gap. I'll go ahead and try enter on that one instead. Okay, and as you can see, if you would have tried for this, if you were willing to have 100 points of risk or whatever, man, it tapped into it barely, and now it is leaving. So this is already like almost 200 points of profit you could have made. But of course, I didn't want to take that big of a risk. So looking for a confirmation fair value gap, and I'm getting it right now. Looking for this right here, let me get my drawings correct. So zooming in a little bit, we have a fair value gap here. I like this one because it lines up with its consolidation. So if it comes back down, and remember this candle is not done forming, so this fair value gap may not necessarily be intact. But yeah, if I have my risk at the low here, that's gonna be about 50 points of risk, which I kind of feel like we are moving quite a bit today. Gonna go ahead and take one contract here if we could actually get down here. All right, guys, so a little bit after 11:30, and you know, this run right here, I know we did create like another small fair value gap and another one, like 3 fair value gaps, right? But even if I take an entry on one of these upper fair value gaps, I still have to have my risk like down here because, well, I mean, that's just where I think the risk should go because it always reach down to this 3rd fair value gap. So I just kept my entry here because I was not willing to risk any more than this 50 point, and I'm going in with one contract. It tapped me in, have a little bit of drawdown, but hopefully we are going to get ready on this candle to trade above this down candle. If we start going above this down candle and closing above it, and if we start closing above, well, these relative equal highs right here, then I'll definitely move my stop to at least break even. I'm still looking for these relative equal highs, but you know, it doesn't need to get there necessarily because it doesn't look like much, but this is actually a lot of movement because right here is a 335, so we'll call it 340. So if my entry is at 212 to 340, that's already over 100 points of profit. If I had multiple contracts, of course I'll be taking off a partial here, or maybe even a partial up here, but we'll see what lunchtime has to bring. I mean, like it's getting close to 12:15. Only like what 45 minutes or so. So just give this like maybe another half hour, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll just take it off above this high. I really want to hold up for that, but it has to have some really big moves for me to actually do that. Okay, so it's just before 12 o'clock. And definitely going to be moving my stop to at least break even. I want to hold for that, but you know what? I think I'm good. I'm just going to go ahead and take it off above here because it is getting close to 12:30. I'll go forward a little bit more, but yeah, taking the trade off here. If at the very worst I already missed it, I will take it off right here. You know what? I didn't say this beforehand, so you know what? I won't count this. I'll say I just took it off right here at 334. That way it's fair, right? And let's just go forward 20 minutes to see if we actually go for the buy. It looks like it's going to go for it. So if I try to hold towards like my time window, I could have, captured another 35 points or so. But it is what it is. I'm done. Really, I wanted to take it off above this high. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and log it, take a look at the rest of the day's action, and then we'll go into Wednesday. Okay, and here's the spreadsheet, guys. As you can see, I did take it off at 334, as I said. Did not take it out at the high around 340. With this 50 points of risk, that's actually still under 1%. I was a little surprised, but I guess because, the balance went up so much. So yeah, we are doing pretty well. I forgot to compile the data for July. I will go ahead and do that probably at the end of this video if I don't forget. If not, definitely at the next video. But yeah, pretty nice trade. 2-to-1, better than 2-to-1. So I think that is it. We'll take a look at that day's action and then move on to Wednesday. So let's just quickly take a look at the close of the day. I think those relative equal highs will get taken, and it did. Shortly after, we started dropping down low. So I think now it's going to be following the higher time frame bias of lower prices. It's going back into that daily fair value gap. I think it's going to come for the sell side there, but hopefully it doesn't take it right away, and we have that as our target for tomorrow. Okay, so this is August 7th, so Wednesday morning, 8 o'clock or 8:15, and we didn't take out the sell side down here. It just tapped into the daily fair value gap and still remaining above this daily fair value gap, kind of consolidating sideways. So don't really know what to make of it, but we do have the buy side target up here. Sell side target is below here, even though we do have some, higher lows So really choppy action. I'm kind of anticipating us going up higher. As long as we remain above this daily fair value gap, I think it's wise to remain bullish. But I'm not really seeing any obvious buy side targets here or any buy side or any like fair value gaps above us. So don't really know if I do get along. Don't really know where I will be taking off the trade. So I think today I may try to sit still, not really do too much because I don't really have any obvious targets. Maybe if I go down to the 15-minute, I will see something. But right now, pretty much this is the buy side, this is the sell side. If we come down below this low and then we start displacing, I'll look to maybe take a long looking for this buy side target. But above here, I don't really have anything else. So it is a little bit before 9:30. Nothing too exciting happening right here, man. The range is actually getting quite big. 387 to 4. I mean, this looks like consolidation, but it's actually like 80 points of range. Anyways, here's the sell side I was thinking. Now, it doesn't actually have to go all the way down there. We could just sweep below this low at 9:30, and then that's good enough for me to try to take a long for the buy side target. So we'll just see what happens at 9:30. Okay, and at 9:30 right away, I thought this might happen. We just went for the buy side target right away. Now I don't really know what to do. Don't really know what I'm looking for. Maybe it can go up some more, and then we start creating a fair value gap to the downside. And then I will look for a confirmation fair value gap, and then maybe I'll be looking for shorts for this target here or this one. But honestly, I'm not really excited with all this consolidation. I know it's a big range, but if you take a bird's eye view, it just looks like consolidation. Okay, so here after 10:30, we created a fair value gap here at 10:15. Not going to be taking this right away. I want to see confirmation. So it comes up, use it as resistance. Then we create another fair value gap. I'll look to take that second fair value gap, confirmation fair value gap. Hopefully we don't take out this low, but it's okay if we do take out the low. If it is a pretty big displacement, we can look for the sell side below this low. All right, and this is not really the action I like to see because it looks very choppy. You see all the wicks going up and down, up and down. I'm thinking today is a day I don't really touch the market. I don't really have any higher time frame. I'm sorry, I don't have any targets above the market. If it's not, and it doesn't look bearish, because I mean with this, I wanted to respect this fair value gap, but we have closed above this down move. So kind of just looks like sideways action. Pretty much, I'm thinking not gonna touch it today. We'll just watch it, and then tomorrow maybe there'll be more opportunities. So getting close to noon, but we finally went down. I mean, it would have been much better if we swept this buy side, but we created relative equal highs, came down, and we finally get a nice displacement candle here with this fair value gap. You could try to take this, but you know, with the time constraint and with all this nasty action in the morning, I'm not really inclined to take any trades today. 487 up here will be your risk, and if you get in here at 396, still very close to about 100 points risk. So that's on you if you want to risk that much, but I don't want to, especially this late in the day. Just gonna see what the afternoon session has in stored, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to Thursday. But you can see 12:15 here, we are displacing lower. We could be coming down for this sell side liquidity. And there you have it, folks. We took out the sell side liquidity down here. We came down even lower in the afternoon and took out the sell side liquidity down here by day's end, and we closed below it. We're still in the daily fair value gap, but if we start going below here, I'll be looking for price to go to the downside. Going to the 4-hour, we have, remember, this sell side here and this sell side having relative equal lows, so that's what I'm going to be looking for going into the next day. All right, so August 8th on the Thursday. And like I said, I'm a little wary because, you know, NFP, sometimes it's not going to be the first Friday of the month, especially when, you know, it starts on a Thursday. So I'm a little wary on today and tomorrow. So I want to be super careful. Probably not going to do more than just one contract. The ranges are really big too. I don't really want to risk that much. But anyways, We are displacing lower. We're still in that daily fair value gap. We're in consolidating in the upper half, so it's a little confusing. I was hoping we would just consolidate on the lower half, but either way, relative equals lows down here going to be the sell side targets. I'm not really looking for longs, especially with this big displacement out here. Now it could pop up above the buy side up here, going back into this fair value gap. I guess I'll draw it out. So it could pop up above the buy side here and go into this fair value gap. And then I want to start seeing displacement lower. Of course, the sell side target is all the way down here, but we have one here and we have one here, more near term, shorter term. And like I said, I don't really want to be too aggressive because I'm a little nervous that we've been consolidating and we're not really getting any clean price action. So just gonna take it a little bit slow today. All right, so I've got a big rally at 8:30. Now this doesn't really mean anything. We don't necessarily have to be bullish. It could just come up here to take out the buy side liquidity and also to take out the internal liquidity here. Remember, this was a 1 hour SIBI. So if we start going above the SIBI, I don't know. There's still another fair value gap above it, so not exactly sure what to make of this. I think the more likely is going to be to the downside, but we'll see how price develops. I think I'm going to wait till at least after 9:30. Probably won't be touching it until 10 o'clock at the earliest. All right, so 9:30 actually didn't do too much. We came back down into this big, 8:30 rally, and then we started going back up and took out the day's high, and now we are trading above that 1 hour fair value gap. So I'm actually more inclined to go long here, but don't really know what my target would be. It's like, let's use this as a fair value gap on the hourly. Perhaps this is where I'll be looking for a price to go to, or maybe up here, right? That is the buy side target. Maybe if I go down to a 15-minute, there'll be something. So on a 15-minute, sorry, not actually saying anything. If we start trading above this 1 hour fair value gap, then I think we can look for this high as the buy side target. But again, I don't really want to be too aggressive. We did get confirmation, but I think the risk here is too much, right? If you put your risk, your stop loss down here, and let's say you enter on, this is going to be 253. So that's already like 150 points of risk. This is so this is going to be like 90 points of risk. So a lot of risk here, not really going to be touching it. I actually want to see a little bit more, maybe going above this fair value gap. So just going to give it a little bit more time. Okay, so it is getting close to 11:30. Didn't really see much retracement, right? Like, I mean, I see all these fair value gaps here, didn't see any pullback here. We got a pullback up to that 1 hour fair value gap. Looks like it's using it as inversion. You can see this big rally here. So like, one candle down, one candle up. That's kind of indicative of a, reversal pattern. So I think it's going to be looking for this high. Not sure if it's going to get up all the way there, but potentially we could take a trade here. Just give it clean chart up a little bit. So zoom in here, if we have our wrist, let's say below here, or we can actually scoot it up a little bit. Let's move it here at the low of the body. And then let's say we have the entry here. This is going to be 60 points of risk, which is still quite a lot, but I think I could get a 1% risk. But you can see that it's not really even a one-on-one trade if I'm aiming for this high, right? So from the high here to my risk, yeah, I'm entering above 50% of it, right? So maybe if I do something like, let's say I enter at 50% of this fair value gap. So let's say if I can tap into there, let's show the price real quick. 73 so that's like what, 50 or 45 points of risk. That seems a little bit more reasonable. And yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's using this as an inversion fair value gap. I know it's high already and it's kind of late. I had a pretty nice win yesterday. I'm going to go ahead and try just for one contract. So it's not going to be 1%, maybe half my risk or something, but I'm going to go ahead and try for 50%. If it doesn't hit me, I don't really care. And then I'm going to have the risk down here. It's going to be there. And let me take a look at the spreadsheet, guys. Okay, so looking at the spreadsheet, if I have my entry here at 373.75, so a little bit above this line, and then I have the risk here, it's going to be 0.7% risk if I do just one contract. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot if I could get tapped in. This is probably going to be the only trade. It is getting quite late, 11:30, and I'm going to be a little bit conservative. I'm not going to look for price to go all the way up here. I'm just going to see if we can take out this high. Another thing you could do is if it takes out this high, move your stop to break even, but I don't really want to because it's so close, right? This is just giving me a 1-to-1. It's almost not worth taking this trade, but we'll give it a shot and see if we can. I'm just going to be conservative, take it off on this high if it does happen. So let's just walk it through and see what happens. Okay, I am tapped in, guys. It is 11:45. Only got about 30 minutes left in the trade or in the trading window. So hopefully we don't come down below this hourly fair value. I'm hoping this will start going up. I mean, we traded through this 1 hour SIBI, which was rather large. This 1 hour SIBI, you can see there was no resistance at all. So I've got a feeling, and then this rally here, like all the order flow is pointing to bullishness. Now we could come down below the swing low and come all the way back down to these down candles, like using it as an order block or something. If that happens, it happens. That's trading. You can't trade with it without any risks. So yeah, we'll just see what happens here. I would love it if we can get up to that high. Let me go back up to the 1 hour. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it won't get up to that high. It's kind of like acting like an intermediate. It could just create like a lower high and then start going down. But hopefully we can poke above this one, right? Hopefully we can poke above this one, especially when we got this down move and this up move. Hopefully it'll be a reversal, and yeah, we'll just walk it through, see what happens. I think either way, I may just close it at 12:15. So okay, so we got it here. Went ahead, closed the trade, got about 1-to-1. We'll see if it can go all the way up there. Okay, didn't quite get it in the morning. Maybe I'll go for it in the afternoon or during the lunchtime, but I'm gonna go ahead and log this trade. I don't really love it. I wouldn't say this is like an A+ setup, right? But it's kind of like borderline on whether or not it was worth taking. But anyways, I took it, got a little bit lucky. So yeah, and we'll move on to the next day after taking a look at the end of the day action. So looking at the spreadsheet, not too bad, almost 1.5 to 1. So not too shabby, but yeah, will be better. Like yesterday we got over 2-to-1, and the previous one was almost 2-to-1, so those were better. This one, like I said, was kind of borderline on whether or not it was worth taking or not. But yeah, let's take a look at the end of the day price action, and then we'll move on to the next day, which will be Friday. So it did rally up. Okay, so actually after taking out this high, it started coming back down again. So yeah, if I was in the trade, I would be really nervous. Maybe I would have put my stop to break even and got stopped out here. So but either way, I went conservative, just went for that high. It eventually did go all the way up for that other the old high back on the 1 hour. And now moving into the next day, not exactly sure what to do because it's kind of coming up, but we still have all this retracement here. Remember, this breaker, maybe it's reaching for this breaker, right? So let's just go ahead and take a look at the pre-market action on Friday. Okay, so Friday morning, you can look at the week here. This is the 1 hour chart. Monday, we came down, traded them low on Monday. We had a high on Wednesday that got traded through. And looking at this entire week, I know there's a lot of range here, but on the 1 hour chart, it just looks like consolidation, right? But slightly bullish. This high right here on Friday, I guess, I don't know if maybe it's done, maybe not. Maybe it's coming back into this gap and going up higher. Let's zoom out a little bit on the 4 hour. And this, I believe, was a weekly fair value gap and a daily fair value gap. And of course, here is a breaker. I think I'll just go ahead and highlight this. We'll start down here and we'll just highlight this. Okay, like that. So maybe it's coming up into this breaker here on the 4 hour. If we go out to the 1 hour, maybe we could refine this a little bit. That's fine. So jumping down to the 15-minute, not really seeing much, although you can see we have consolidation here and we swept it around 4:30. So this was close to London close. Sell side is down here. We do have an imbalance here on the 15-minute. Was there one on the 1 hour? I didn't quite note it. There was. So this would be the sell side target, this 1 hour fair value gap. Looking at the price here, we can see consolidation. We poked above it. So we're looking for sell side down here, relative equal lows. And if it goes lower, here is a 1 hour fair value gap. I think it could tap into that. And then going into the 5 minutes, we do see displacement here. Price poked into this fair value gap, displaced lower. Didn't go into this fair value gap. Where did this go into? This probably went into this old fair value gap here at a little bit after midnight. Are we going to displace even lower? I mean, I guess we could, right? We could displace lower, or we could rally above this high going into this fair value gap and then displace lower. So not going to be wanting to take this trade because there is a risk of us going up into this fair value gap. So it's just going to wait, see what 8:30 looks like, see what 9:30 looks like. Hopefully we don't take out this low. If we don't take out this low, then bearish ideas are in play. Okay, and I think maybe I am done for the day, actually. Like, it's not even the opening bell. 8:30, we went ahead and dropped down for the sell side target here. And, well, I guess there is that 1 hour fair value gap. I think it can drop down even lower, but this could have been a trade that you take, right? If you had your, let me go ahead and draw lines. If you have your short entry here, stop loss above here, 50 points of risk. 50 points of risk. So it's not a small range, not a small range, but yeah, you could have gotten like maybe a little bit better than 1-1. So it wasn't worth it for me to take it because I thought it could go up above this high and go back into this fair value gap. It was never tapped into, but I guess this fair value gap was a breakaway gap. Anyways, gonna see what 9:30 looks like. Probably not gonna take a trade today on Friday, right? Already had 2 really good trades this week. Don't want to like overdo it. And funny, you know, after taking out the sell side and no bodies ever closed below it, it just wicked through it. And now at 9:30, we're starting to rally up. Now we're going into this fair value gap. Can we get above it? Can we trade above this high? Can we get above this fair value gap? Those are all kind of questions I'm looking for right now. There's no bullish fair value gap right now, so just waiting to see what happens. All right, guys, I'm not going to be touching this today. It is 10 o'clock. So when you're not sure, I always like to wait until about 10 o'clock, give it, you know, that first 30 minutes to see what the opening range looks like. And you can see on the 5 minute, it is choppy. There's no inefficiencies. It's just like going up and down in this range. And like, you know, the range from here, I guess it did poke above here a little bit, but yeah, I'm not gonna be touching it, but I'll just keep walking through for the rest of the day, and then we'll close out this video. All right, so quick note, you know, some of these range, this is a pretty big range, right? But still, if you look, it's very choppy. So I don't think it's really worth touching. It did rally up and took out these relative equal highs, went into this fair value gap, right? Didn't tap into this upper one, so we could be coming down, right? Could be coming down for that 1 hour fair value gap. We did create a fair value gap here. If you would have traded this, you will have your risk up here, but I am not trading this. This rally looks kind of scary. Looks like we could push up through it, but if this doesn't get taken out, I think we're going to start dropping for this 1 hour fair value gap. All right, 11:45 is getting pretty much close to the end of the time window anyways. Not like I'm wanting to touch this anyways. But yeah, you can see that I was reading the price. I said, hey, if you want to take a short here, you have a risk here. Obviously, got blown through. Took out this high. Didn't quite go above here, but we're coming back down into this fair value gap. So this could set up for a rally again for maybe this high right here, right? And then you can have your risk down here, enter here, but this is gonna be like close to 60 points of risk. So yeah, anyways, not touching it. Just about 30 minutes more until we close out this, until my time window's up, and then I'll close out the video. All right, guys, 12:15 lunchtime. Pretty much a lot of choppy action. Price didn't really go anywhere. It's down here, almost where it opened. Right, it opened here, and it, well, closed here before at 12:30. So we'll take a look what happens in the PM session and the rest of the day. It did go up for this high, did take out the buy side up here as well, and then it went back into another consolidation within the range. So that's pretty much it, guys. Had two really great trades. I'm really happy for that, and I'm actually more happy that I was not wanting to take any trade on this Friday. I recognized the first 30 minutes was super choppy. I thought it was, it was not going to be good price action. I was completely correct and was not tempted at all. A huge shift from what, like, was it last week? No, it was 2 weeks ago, where I was really FOMO. I wanted to get in, and luckily, I had none of that feeling today. So keep back testing, guys. Keep working on your emotions. Keep working on your trading psychology, because well, that's pretty much the only way you can practice. You don't really want to be practicing during live trades. That's when you're performing. You want to practice with your back testing and then perform on your live trades. Be a little bit more conservative, be a little bit more risk averse. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for sticking around with me, and until I see you guys next time, safe trading.